Hey everyone, and welcome to this brand new video featuring all that's new on the automated people mover line, also known as the Skylink. We'll look at all that's new here on Tiger Railfan. Before we get into it, let's go ahead and take a look at the route map we're going to be following today. We're going to be starting today with the LAX terminal stations, starting at the Terminal East station, making our way west, before making our way back out towards the LAX Metro Transit Center, rental car facility, and the economy parking lot. But first, let's get started here with a look at the LAX Terminal East station. This is the first stop that the trains will stop at when heading west into LAX. This is going to be serving Terminals 1, 7, and 8 via a pedestrian bridge, which we'll be looking at in just a second. Upon first notice, there is not that much happening besides construction workers just seemingly looking around or taking a seat. And that's going to be a trend throughout today's video, which was interesting in my opinion, especially as the project was just delayed until summer of 2026, as this article shows here, which is definitely inconvenient, especially how far they are done with the project. They seem almost ready to open. Testing is well underway, so it really makes me wonder what's happening behind the scenes. The problems are currently listed as contract negotiations, but I wish they would go more in depth onto that. But regardless, this is going to be a world-class project that's going to enable much better accessibility throughout the LAX Airport area. Now let's also take a look at a preemptive bridge that's going to be connecting to Concourse Zero, a project that's going to be built over the current LAX facility, which is located just ahead on the right. There it is. That's where you connect to Ubers, taxis, and anything of that nature whenever you're leaving LAX. Soon that is going to be demolished and will become the home of a new concourse connected to Terminal 1, which will enable much more service from Southwest in particular. But here we are now at the elevators. Let's go ahead and take a look at the progress that's been made here. And spoiler alert, there has been some stuff done related to the signage. So let's go ahead and take a look. Just looking over that fence, we can see that the floor number was painted on the elevators, and we can see a new directory sign showcasing where we're at the moment. You can see W is the level for the Skylink line here, and we're currently on level 4, which I found was pretty interesting, as I figured we were on the same level as the People Mover. Maybe it's referring to the platform level. But there is the actual station that you'd be able to take the elevator to. And not only does that benefit transit riders or those coming in from the eastern 3 stops, it also enables people who park at these parking structures that we're at the ability to walk on those pedestrian bridges and save time when going into the airport terminal. Because currently you would have to go downstairs to the first floor and cross the street at the arrivals level, which can take quite a bit of time. But now let's look at the actual pedestrian bridges themselves. They have this open air structure, which I do have mixed feelings about, but they do have automated walkways, which is a great feature. You can see them just straight ahead, just below that glass panel. The one right in front of us is pretty long, but they are not as prevalent in other parts of the pedestrian walkways, especially as the curved portions make it difficult to have those automatic walkways. But let's go ahead now and look at the entrance to the station here, which is via multiple sets of escalators. On the right hand side, straight ahead, you're able to see that intersection as well, with a bridge heading towards Terminal 7 and 8. In addition, you can see that there are some departure boards being built just on the left hand side as well. That way you'll be able to see your flight status before you even get into the terminal, which is a really good feature in my opinion. It's currently in those gray boxes, and that's going to be finished hopefully soon, so it's good to see that's been made. Looking below us, there is actually quite a bit of construction mess happening downstairs at the ground level, or the arrivals level. With all those cones there, I'm not exactly sure what they're doing with the roadway down there. Maybe it was related to the initial construction of the station. Maybe it had to be closed while they worked on the actual platform itself. If you do know what's happening with the roadway just beneath the automated people mover stations, do let me know in the comments down below. I do read and respond to almost everyone, so I greatly appreciate the comments that you have about the project. Looking straight ahead now, we're able to see the LAX control tower, which is a signal where the LAX Central Terminal Station is, servicing Terminals 2, 5, and 6. We'll be heading there next to look at the new things that they've done at the LAX Central Terminal Station. But for now, if you've been enjoying the video so far, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more videos just like this. I love producing these for you, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I do, evaluating the progress of the Skylink train. But here we are now atop parking structure P2B, which is going to be currently closed to the public. So there are no parked vehicles up here, and we're going to have a little bit of a difficult time seeing what's happening on the platform level here. But generally we can see it's in a very similar state as the first station. You can see the backs of the TV screens, which were working at the first station, and we've seen that throughout the previous episodes, which is a good sign to see. You can also see that the lighting is on, but there is still a couple roof panels missing. But it's a much better improvement from the past episodes where, as I mentioned, they would almost look like Swiss cheese. But looking at the traffic levels here at LAX, it doesn't seem that bad on this Veterans Day when this video was filmed. But of course, whenever it gets closer to Thanksgiving and the holiday season, it's going to get jam-packed over here. And the automated people mover line will help a ton with that. Looking back here at the LAX Central Station now, we're atop parking structure P2B, which is where we are currently, in between the LAX Central Terminal Station and the LAX Terminal West stop, which is the last stop along the line. You can see the West Station just on the right and the Central Terminal Station on the left. A good way to indicate which station is which is comparing it to the Central Terminal Station, which has the control tower located right next to it, in addition to the curved track just east of that station. And right here, we're able to see one of those bridges that connects terminal to terminal via the LAX Automated People Mover station. This one in particular goes between terminals 3 and 4, creating a much more seamless connection if you're going between airlines. But now here we are at parking structure P3, directly in front of Terminal 3. This is going to grant us access to look at the Terminal West station, which is directly in front of us now. This is going to be the western terminus of the Skylink line, and it's going to be servicing terminals 3, 4, as well as the Tom Bradley International Terminal, which we'll be heading inside in just a second to take a look at the brand new connection made between the Skylink Bridge and the terminal. So make sure to stay tuned and we get a look at that with the construction walls down. But overall here at the station, we can notice that there are now some arch structures, some beams that are extending off of the ends of the roofs of the station. I think that's definitely quite interesting that they've put that there, especially when the station structure is pretty much complete at this point in the construction updates. Now, of course, looking straight ahead at the station, we can see that the lighting is all working still, and everything is in the same place as it was last month's construction update in October, which is also linked in the description down below. We do see, though, some new signage that points towards pretty much everywhere in the airport, all the terminals, all the parking that the stations serve on the Skylink line. And I find that interesting, and I wish that the signs were a little more specific, because if you were at terminals 3 or 4 per se, you don't need to go anywhere on the Skylink line. You just need to exit the station. But hopefully we'll get a clearer story of that once the line opens and we're able to take a look inside. We can see that the trend of new signage continues on the elevators as well. But I'll go ahead and spare you the time of walking over there. And let's go ahead towards the Tom Bradley International Terminal now. This terminal opened in 1984 with the first round of LA Olympics, and it's currently the biggest terminal at LAX, servicing several important international destinations, as well as some local destinations on some low-cost airlines such as Frontier. Also, something interesting at the station is the construction equipment on the right-hand side of the screen. Looks like they were working on some of the roof in order to fill up some of those missing ceiling tiles, which were most likely custom parts, which is why they took so long. We can also see the letter designation for the station, which is A. The Skylink line runs off of a series of letters to denote the stations, which makes it easier to reference them. For example, this Terminal West station is A, the Central Terminal station is B, and the Terminal East station is C, followed by the LAX Economy parking structure at D, the LAX Metro Transit Center is E, and then finally the Consolidated Rental Car Facility, CONRAC, at F. But here we are at the Tom Bradley International Terminal. We'll be heading downstairs to go inside and take a look. This is one of the only terminals where you're able to walk from the parking structure directly into the departure level. But this is going to change with all those new pedestrian bridges we see on the Skylink line. Traffic here is a little more heavy, especially on the lower arrivals level, where there are a lot of people waiting downstairs. You can also see briefly the bridge connection between the international terminal and the station itself. That's where we're going to get a close-up look at with the construction walls down. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start making our way into the terminal by heading down to level 3 of parking structure P3. Here we are now on the departures level. We're going to go ahead and cross the street here to get into the LAX Tom Bradley International Terminal. A quick note as well on the pedestrian crossings over the street is that they take forever to turn green for pedestrians. So it is worth it to be building these pedestrian bridges, because if you do have to cross over multiple streets, it can be quite a hassle to get to your terminal and flight. But looking here at the LAX International Terminal station, you can see that big screen directly in front facing the International Terminal. This is where some advertisements, especially for the LA Olympics in 2028, are going to be displayed, and it provides an opportunity to welcome international visitors to Los Angeles and to showcase what's best and what's happening in LA. That truly gives a sense of modernity at LAX, which is something I greatly appreciate. But now let's go ahead and cross the street, heading into the LAX Tom Bradley International Terminal. This is where most travelers are dropped off if they're arriving by car, and it can be quite congested, but that's what the Skylink line is going to be helping with, providing alternate drop-off points as well. So it's going to help not only transit riders, but it will also help those who drive into the LAX Horseshoe. Welcome to the Tom Bradley International Terminal. It's quite busy in here, as you can see, but security did look pretty light. We're going to be heading upstairs to the 4th floor in order to get a look at the new entrance to the terminal. This is also an alternate security entrance, so if you've already checked in online and you don't need to check any bags in, you're able to walk directly to security without even changing floors. But if you do, there are plenty of elevators that we just passed on either end of the terminal, in addition to these escalators located just to the left-hand side. Looking ahead though, you can see another look at the LAX International Terminal Station. You can see the escalators as well that lead up to platform level. But now let's go upstairs to get a look at that brand new entrance. Skipping past this little escalator ride, welcome to the brand new entrance to the LAX International Terminal Station from the autonomous Skylink train. We can now see the little 2 pillars that were both on the left and right hand side of the bridge that we noticed last month construction update. And we can see now how they correlate with the rest of the building. I don't know why they have this little extra extension of the bridge into the terminal. Maybe it's for support, most likely. But they've made it look excellent, especially with this 2-story open area where you land in the terminal. If you're heading directly to security, you would head down that walkway. There's also restrooms directly there as well. This is going to help spread out traffic a lot easier because honestly, no one is up here. And this is going to help enable smoother passenger flow, especially as LAX gets busy for the Olympics and other special events that come in the near future. Looking at the connecting bridge itself, it does not have any automatic walkways, but it is one of the shorter ones out of the batch. And the bridge connection itself has these 2 screen doors, or sliding doors rather, with a modern LED light surrounding them, which I think is an amazing touch and is a true welcome to Los Angeles. You can see the second set of escalators just ahead that we're going to use to go downstairs. Right here is also the assisted mobility area where you would go to transfer into an airport compatible wheelchair. Located extremely close to the Skylink station, it's really convenient for the disabled and those who can't walk long distances to get into the terminal here. But for everyone else, if you need to check in or head downstairs, you'll just go down these escalators or the many elevators to the departures level, which is where we're at right now. If you make a left turn, you'll end up at the check-in area we were just at. But heading all the way downstairs, you'll be met with this arrivals level, which is where so many people have met their loved ones, and it's truly an emotional space here. But with that, we're now going to head outside of the Tom Bradley International Terminal and back out to get a short look at some of the other LAX Skylink stations outside of the airport grounds. Currently, you would have to take one of the many shuttles departing downstairs, one of which is an employee shuttle right ahead. In the midst of the Skylink construction, you would need to take a bus shuttle to the LAX Metro Transit Center. We're currently now on the LAX Metro C line arriving into the LAX Metro Transit Center, offering us a great view at the construction happening on the pickup and drop-off facilities just on the other side of Aviation Boulevard. Some of the area, more to the left of the guideway here, services as an extended parking lot for the consolidated rental car facility. We'll get another look at the construction over there as well. But we're now arriving in one of LA Metro's biggest stations, the Metro Transit Center for LAX. Here is where we also saw some testing here on the Skylink line. This is most likely coming in from the Skylink depot. We didn't see this throughout the filming of the rest of the video, so it was most likely doing short runs back and forth from the main line back to the depot. But it is great movement nonetheless. Here we are now on the LAX shuttle bus, giving us a vantage point of the Conrack Facility Station, which is an identical structure of the one attached to the LAX Metro Transit Center. It's just built directly into the rental car facility building, offering plenty of entrances and exits. You're also able to see that some signage was placed on the new elevators as well. That would take you down to the lobby. So that trend continues in today's month's construction update with updated signage, a new test train, and a brand new connection to the Skylink station from the International Terminal. Make sure to stick back for next month's construction update, where we'll take an even more in-depth look at those bridge connections as we see them open. I'm curious to see if they look the same. But with that, I hope you've enjoyed the video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you did enjoy, and have an amazing rest of your day or night.